Good evening. Welcome to a confusing yet another episode of A Contagious Smile. Unstoppable. My husband looks like he ate the canary because he's sitting here with this shit-eating grin on his face and not telling me what he's up to. If anybody knows Michael, when he looks like that, he's done something or he's trying to get away with something. So, what is it? See?
Nothing.
No. Absolutely not. What is it? No, don't look at me and point your finger. Look at that big old jug waiting on you. There's a big jug with his name on it waiting on him. He's going to do his colonoscopy, and he got in the mail a jug of preparatory work. And he thought that Faith and I pranked him, which I thought was hysterical because I had nothing to do with it and didn't know about it. So, what is it that you are withholding?
Nothing.
Bull crap.
Nothing. Seriously.
You said to me, we're going to go podcast, so let's talk about it. Okay, so now we're here, we're on air, so still.
So, we're going to talk about your books.
Oh, shit. Is that what the grin's been about?
Yep.
You sideswept me on this.
Sideswept.
Because I didn't know this was coming.
Sideswept?
Sure, whatever.
All right, so about your books.
Shit.
What do you mean shit?
Because you just put me in the pile of crap without any warning.
Well, you're almost done with the book, right?
Kinda.
One of 14 you got in the works?
No, not 14. Whatever.
Okay, 8.
Whatever.
And your book is
Nart
Nart
Nart. Who's there?
Right.
Get it?
Which
Knock, knock.
emperor do I have to put up with today?
Knock knock, who's there? But it's Nart Narcissistic.
It'll be coming out soon, right?
Yes. It's the prequel to Who Kicked First. Now you got me on tongue tied because I was not.
And y'all
ready for
go
this.
on Amazon and buy Who Kicked First by Victoria Cure.
Mm-hmm.
What?
This is your child here. Go ahead.
Oh.
I had no idea we were talking about my books. What about them?
We always talk about you.
No, we don't. I don't like talking about me.
This is your wheelhouse. How many people out there have been listening to you for years?
Us. Not me, us.
You specifically.
No. You know, perception is a real bitch. Really, it is. Like when you say to people, let's use the example that you used earlier, like you got up at 11, right? So this is what you said to me. But when you say that to someone, you're like, wow, that person's really lazy and doesn't do much and just lays on their ass and sleeps, right? But if you say, oh, well, I went to bed at 2:00 last night. I got up at 3, went downstairs, stayed up till like 7 or 8, 7:30ish, went back upstairs and laid down from 8 to 11 and been up ever since. That gives you a whole different overview and doesn't make you think the person's lazy, right? So it's like when a narcissist says, oh, this person is whatever, but they don't give you anything behind it. It's all about their perception. And this book is going to bring to light what really is going through the minds of those narcissistic people.
So why are they so narcissistic?
You're talking about who in general?
Yeah, sure. They're bullies, right?
Yes, because they are insecure within themselves.
So were they picked on in school? Picked on in their early years of childhood?
Not all of them. That's like saying you and I would be a narcissist because we were picked on and had.
Okay, so we had a free choice.
Right. We chose to break the cycle and not let it continue. Like, you know, as many times as I've said this, and I know I've said it many, it's like I asked my grandmother that time, how could she have raised my biological dad when they are so amazing? My grandparents were amazing. And she said, I could ask the same thing about you. And I didn't understand that because I was too young when she told me this. And the fact of the matter is that now it makes sense because you can take the values put in front of you and you can either implement them into your life, or you could say to hell with them and flush them down the toilet and be a pompous ass, basically. And so some people chose to be that way. And some people would care more about money and the perception of what other people think of them than to have a loving, unconditionally safe, trusting environment that's a home versus a house. You know, you're so big about, I just lost my train of thought because I just looked over and saw your Burrito Boulevard slide.
Your grandma.
Yes. So it's about, you know, who you are. Like the opinions, do they matter to you what other people think? Or do you care about like helping others and being there and being a good person? You stop the cycle, or do you know, I can't say it's a legacy, but do you want to live the legacy of your mom? Do you want to be the legacy of your mother and act the way she did? You did for a while, and it caused us to break up. Or do you want to be the amazing, sweet, loyal person you are? And that's what brought us back together.
You're calling me sweet.
You can be. They're few and far between moments, but they're there.
Okay. That was very insightful. Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, how do you think you would be today? Would you have kept on that road of being promiscuous and just, you know, unhappy and settling like you had for so long?
No, I would say miserable had I not married you.
No, I'm talking about in general in life, not just in a relationship with a significant other or partner. I'm talking about overall. I mean, you just weren't happy in your life, period. You weren't happy
Yeah,
with
even though those were traits that were run in my side, one side of my family, not you, Dad. I never felt a need to, you know, portray them or act upon them in my life. And, you know, I guess if you were bullied, let's say back in school, and that's all you know, you're gonna lean one way or the other. You're gonna become a bully because you got bullied, and that's what you know grew up knowing. So if your parents are narcissistic, you grow up and then you turn around and you're narcissistic to your coworkers, to your children, to other people around you.
to your grandchildren.
Yes. So to me, it wasn't a hard thing to. I mean, it was just an unconscious decision for me. You know, hey, you know, I don't want to jump off the bridge. You know,
Right. Right. Like, and my husband will tell you, I do not see myself the way he sees me. Is that a fair statement?
you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, you're intelligent, you sexy vixen, you.
Whatever. Anyway, now that he's spewed shit out of his mouth, you should also say that for your colonoscopy. But I showed him pictures of me when I was in high school and middle school. Well, let's leave that out. Let's go to just the high school pictures. So I showed him pictures of me in high school. And just be honest, what did you think of the pictures?
The early '90s pictures of you. You're welcome.
Thanks.
You were a hottie. You were a simple, plain hottie. How's that?
Plain,
Oh yeah.
like plain Jane.
No, you were that undercover plain, like undercover playboy. You know. Yeah.
What is that undercover? I've never heard that term.
I just made it up.
That's why I never heard it before.
I'll put it in the dictionary.
Great, the redneck dictionary.
Yes.
Okay. So I never got hit on in school. And my husband found that to be unbelievably hard to believe, but I didn't. I wasn't, because I was very much to myself. I was captain of the debate team and I was competing and I was doing all these other things. But like, I didn't see myself that way because I had already lost my grandfather at that point. And I had heard all of these horrific things growing up about me being judged against my brother and being judged just in general. And so I didn't see what everybody did in the mirror. And so I kind of portrayed that, you know, image, but I was also the person at school that if you picked on somebody, I was going to be right there as their shield, front and center, no questions asked.
Right. So let's back up to captain. Okay.
Okay.
You now have a title.
Because I was
As a
really
high
good at
schooler.
debating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The next word is of the debate team.
Yes.
Okay. Next
Yeah.
few words.
Yeah.
Okay. What boy
Some thought that was kind of hot, I
wants
guess,
to come
right?
into a relationship
The nerds that were
with
in
a
my group,
captain?
the book nerds like me, right? When you think,
No, they're too mealy mouse.
what?
Yes. But yeah. So it's inevitable. You had to have a stud like me come into your life, you know, to rein you in. No, but her and I say this, and don't take this out of context, but her and I fit together real well. As far as being on the same page, you know, it's like that every day. You know, we y'all say you finish each other's thoughts or sentences, and we've been there for so many years, and we just work really well together. So
But it's not boring. It's never been
we know
boring.
that y'all can find your true soulmate out there. No, like my wife says, we go to bed, we sit there and we crack up laughing until one of us gets up and goes pees or pees in our bed.
In the bed. But no, I'm like, stop it, you're gonna make me pee. And he says the same thing. And I mean, we laugh till we can't breathe, and we're coughing because we're laughing so hard we can't breathe. And that's normal. And I love it because Faith is like, again, would y'all stop? Oh my God. Or she'll get into it and come in there because we're still doing her medical care and stuff at night. And she'll get in there and start laughing. Like, I think this is hilarious that this kid, who I think she'd be safe saying this, she has this tube still from this massive surgery. And when you open it, she can make her tube fart. She can make it fart. And it's hilarious. Now,
It's not
it
hilarious.
is because she does it to you.
She farts stomach shit on me.
Hilarious. And it is straight stomach bile. And so it's putrid. The smell is putrid. And she cracks up laughing. And then just when you think she's done, she rips it from the back end. And it is absolutely one of the funniest things ever. And it's just those moments like that is just, it's what you live for, are those simple moments.
Moments where your kid's farting on you.
It's hilarious.
That's what you live for.
I live for anything she's around for because,
I know.
but it's laughter is the best medicine in life. Like, really, it is. And if you can't just laugh and enjoy life, we've been talking about a lot of serious things off air lately. I had to go to one of my least favorite places in the world yesterday, which is Walmart. And I went in there to get a couple of things. And as I was getting ready to check out, the cashier is sitting there playing his phone. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. He's like, I'm just playing a game. Hold on a second. And I waited until he finished his whatever he was doing on this game. And if you ever have seen me, I either wear my nub in my pocket or my pouch of a shirt, my kangaroo pouch, which is brilliant for me because it holds stuff. And so I was unloading and he hadn't seen it yet. And I was like, oh, come on, you gotta smile. Life's too short not to be happy. You gotta laugh. And he was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I was like, what could be so bad that you just can't, put a smile on it? And I was like, I'm sorry, is it because you were losing your game or I interrupted your game? He was like, no, I'm just kind of just whatever. And I was like, oh, well, you know what? I bet I can make you smile because you're not dealing with this. And I took out my handless arm and he goes, oh. And I was like, yeah, I'm still getting used to it. And he just kind of, and I'm like, see, life's too short not to enjoy those moments. And I didn't really mean to shove it in his face and smear it in, but seriously, I mean, if I could walk around and not be a sour bitch all the time, which I do, then I don't want to hear somebody who has all of their bearings, complain about whatever, that's just ridiculous.
And what would you say to those sour bitches?
It depends what they're bitching about.
Let's say they have some deformity or some amputation.
Those are the ones that normally have the best attitude.
Okay, let's say that you be one that has a sour attitude, that hates life, hates everybody. It's everybody else's fault.
I did remember
whatever the circumstance.
when I went to pre-op and the lady was like, oh my God, I'm having my third surgery. Nobody's ever had this many surgeries.
Oh, yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
And I was like, oh, really? And I said, I'm so sorry. And I was like, is there anything I can do to help? This is what I do. I advocate, And I was like, maybe, she's like, well, I'm going to get nauseous. I'm going to get this. And I'm like, well, you can get a patch behind your ear that can help with nausea. You can ask them for that. And I said, you could also ask to do Zofran during the surgery and ask for it afterwards, which is great for nausea as well. And it works really great one-on-one with the patch. And she's like, well, nobody understands because I've never met anyone who's ever had this many surgeries. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, I said, well, they fight back there to see who's going to get me because I bring treats. And she's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I think I'm scheduling in. This was like my 108th surgery or something like that. And she was like, what? And I was like, oh yeah. And I don't remember what she was getting. I want to think it had something to do with like sinuses or something. I don't know. It was not a big surgery in comparison. And I'm not comparing anything I've been through to anybody else at all. But if you put two things on the table and said, here, it's sinusitis or it's amputation, let's be real, right? And this was my amputated pre-op. So she just looks at me and I was like, oh, good luck getting your nose cleaned out. I'm getting my arm chopped off. And you just look at her. And I have people stare at me a lot and say, oh my God, what happened to you? And I was like, oh my God, I probably had the same doctor you're about to go under. You know, I mean, if they're being stupid, I'll be like, I hope you're not having the surgeon that made me lose my arm. That would really suck because I think you mixed up my record with somebody. Oh, that would be horrible, but HIPAA won't let me tell you who he is, and I do things like that because you have to laugh. If you're going to be a bitch and not have compassion for somebody else, then, one of my favorite moments, and Faith was so agitated, is I saw this beautiful little girl who had the braces on her legs and she was hating life. She was so miserable. And the mom was just beside herself, mad as all get out. And we were at the medical building we went to for her 6-hour testing. And so she was down there and I was like, oh, and I was like, you're so beautiful. And the little girl wouldn't say anything. And I was like, I told the mom what I did, who I was, and asked if I could talk to her. And she said, of course, good luck. Like, really just fed up with her kid. And I was like, who's your favorite cartoon character? And she's like, Strawberry Shortcake. And I was like, who knows these days about Strawberry Shortcake? And I was like, that's awesome. That's awesome. I love her. And I said, you know what? I'm so jealous because you have the coolest leg things I've ever seen in my life. And she goes, what? The first thing you do is you always get down and get eye level to them because then they feel like you're on their level. You're not intimidating them. And I was like, that is so cool. I hate the doctor. I'm not going. I don't want to go. She's pitching a fit. And I was like, did you just stomp that thing? And they made the coolest sound. It's like a drum. You're walking with drums. It was just so cool. So I said, what if I could help you make those into something really cool? So of course I reached into my bag and I always had tricks and stuff in there. And I had one of those fidget things. And I said, well, I don't have any stickers, but you can hold this fidget thing for me. And I told mom, I said, go to the dollar store and buy every single bloody pack of the same strawberry shortcake stickers or go on Amazon, eBay, whatever, buy them out and then take pictures of the boot all the way around. And then every time you go and they shorten it, go back and put the stickers exactly where they were before. She'll never know the difference. And so she was like, okay. And I gave her our card. And she actually wrote me and said, oh my God, the kid loves going to the doctor now. She thinks that she's a superstar. And it's moments like that you just want to look at the mom and just be like, you need to take note from your kid because she's a firefighter. Like, she's just a fire starter, she's amazing. And dumb people make my head hurt.
That's awesome.
I mean, those are the sweet moments.
Y'all see what I live with? Dr. Victoria Cure. She's freaking awesome, y'all.
No.
Be sure to write her, email her, contact her. You can get to us on our website at contagiousmile.com, as y'all know. And y'all can check out her many books and articles and activity books and oh my gosh, so many things. There's classes online now that y'all can take. We still have videos of Faith and dogs.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Yes.
And then we're looking at other things also.
We are looking at other things also. And if you have something going on that you want to talk about, I am a certified counselor for the Amputee Coalition as well. And every time I just did a conference with them, and I was the only one in this meeting that had a hand amputation. I mean, and they say that like the amputation of hands is like one for every like 10,000 or what, I don't know the number offhand, but it's ridiculous. Everybody has legs. And everybody in the chat in the community room was like, I'd rather lose both my legs than an arm, hands down. And I agree. Because my husband and I were talking earlier, and there are things that happen now that, quite frankly, they suck. I made my husband an apple pie and I went to put it in the stove. Luckily, I had just preheated it, and not even knowing, I pulled the oven down, and my nub, as we call it, was resting on the oven door. I didn't even know it. I mean, what did you do the other day? I had no idea about. You've been doing it a lot lately that I had no idea.
Working?
No, this isn't time for humor. About
What?
anything having to do with my nub.
I have a bad habit of kissing my wife.
That's not a bad habit.
Well, I may also lick you to death.
He thinks he's a dog.
Like a
at some
dog.
point.
And I find it hilarious.
I do not.
My wife does not. Guys out there, have you ever sucked on your wife's eyeball?
It's gross. It's annoying. Like he walks up to me like he is my original Stucco, but everybody knows Stucco is my service dog and named after my husband by face. And my husband will walk up, and I know all the women will agree with me. My husband walks up and licks me on the face like a freaking dog, like up the side of my face. And it gives me the EBGs. I just don't like it. Not to mention that, and he's like, you let the dogs do it. Okay, I know where the dog's mouth's fit. Just saying. Like, it's just different.
They eat their own throw up.
You've eaten some nasty shit. Let me just call it
back to the nub.
Yeah,
So
subject.
So the other night I was kissing on her nub or licking on her nub, whatever I was doing. And she had no feeling. She didn't even register that I was
We were sitting on the couch.
touching her.
I was watching some stupid thing, and I had no idea he was doing it.
And that's a sad aspect of losing a limb. You have a lot of muscle and nerve damage.
Not everybody loses feeling.
No feeling down there.
Not everybody loses feeling. I sit in the office chair, and I actually have one of those amputated assisted pad things in a chair for me. So, but I don't even realize how much weight I'm putting on my limb. And next thing you know, my shoulder, my upper arm, it hurts tremendously because I'm putting too much weight on it, or I'll get that line of demarcation on my nub because I'm pushing down on it on the edge of the desk and I don't even know it. So I mentioned to my husband this weekend that I am wanting to maybe look at doing a further amputation up because this really is useless. Like, what is this? To me, if you look at it, the only reason I'm not, and I'm very hesitant, is because of the tattoos of my grandparents. Like all of the scars all over it and whatever, I wouldn't miss them. But if you remember in the 80s and 90s, that clown that they had the sand in the bottom and you punch it and it drops to the back and then pops right back up, that's what my nub looks like. It looks like one of those little clowns.
What?
It does. Look, look, right there. See, it does. It does. It does. So,
oh my God.
I am thinking about, what is the point in it? What does it do? It doesn't do anything. I have realized that when I walk around anywhere, I hold it as if it's in an invisible sling. Like I hold it inward and it doesn't function. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't help me with anything. I can't push anything or pull anything with it. Please tell me what the point in keeping it.
No. So listeners, how many of y'all out there think that Victoria should cut off more of her arm?
But it's exceptionally painful, excruciating.
To keep it.
Right. I have diagnosed not carpal. Right. I have diagnosed complex regional pain syndrome. I have permanent nerve and muscle damage. I've done hours of nerve conductive studies. And it's literally like you touch something and you don't even know it. There was a great episode on ER where the doctor lost his arm and he was getting ready for his prosthetic and he didn't even know it. And he reached over and his arm nub, whatever, caught on fire because he didn't even feel it over the burners. He was cooking dinner and he didn't even know it. And I saw that like right before I got my amputation, which was just fantastic. But you don't even know, you don't feel it, nothing. And it's excruciating.
So right now you know the pain level you're at.
The pain level is, I understand. Let me put it this way. I understand.
You know where I'm going.
Hold on. Now you'll tell me if I'm wrong. Have I ever taken any pain meds for anything I've ever had done?
About me?
No, with surgeries. Any of my
No,
surgeries. Never.
You have not.
No matter what. And
no oxy, no hydro,
nothing.
no TDB.
I've never even asked him to fill it because I won't take it. So I can understand justifiably how some people could get extremely addicted to pain meds due to the severity of pain of being an amputee. I can safely and comfortably make that statement. So what were you going to say to that?
If you know now the pain level that you're at and how you're tolerating it, and to go into the unknown, to cut off more and have the possibility that it hurt
It couldn't hurt more.
just as much, if not more.
It couldn't hurt
And
more.
then
It couldn't hurt
and
more.
then there's less of you.
Okay.
So that's
But
the
there's no
question.
way it could hurt more. There's no way.
We don't know that.
There's no pain level higher than what I'm in. There's
Sure
not.
there is.
No, there's not. There's really not. I mean, okay, after everything I've been through in my life, from stabbings to choking to suffocating to having hundreds of stitches without sedation, whatever the case is, I'm telling you, my face being broken, becoming deaf, all of that, this is excruciating.
I've seen you I was there, obviously, when they first hacked it off and you came home. And
Yes.
those weeks and that first month and a half,
And I went right back
You
to
were-
work.
you
I was
were-
in agony.
you were crying. You were in pain, so much pain every day.
But I wouldn't give in and take anything.
And you barely slept. You'd be up
No.
at 1:30 at night, crying, shaking. You had the tremors, you had these phantom.
I still have tremors and shaking in the nub. But what purpose does this long waste of nothing do? And it is in my way. I could literally get hurt with it because what I understand most doctors say take the least amount off as possible. And that's so they can provide you with a prosthetic. But I can't wear my prosthetic. It's too heavy. And I can't afford the very cool, but yet really want one of those amazing hands because insurance doesn't cover it. With it, it's the robotic hand. That's badass. I want one of those so bad. But our insurance doesn't cover it. Nobody's insurance covers it unless
I seen
you're-
one built out of Legos,
Oh, that would be great.
a prosthetic arm,
That'd be great.
right?
Yeah.
It was awesome looking.
Okay. Can I get it in purple?
I'm sure out of the 40 million listeners, there's somebody out there that can point us in the right direction of getting you a lightweight arm.
I want the mechanical one, the robotic one, the Terminator ones, that has fingers and not make me look like a claw or Captain Hook's sister. Even though if Johnny Depp's out there, he's more than welcome to come up on here.
Oh, we haven't heard from Johnny, have we?
No.
Dave,
Don't keep yelling at my work husband.
Yoda,
Oh, yell at my work husband.
what's up with Johnny?
No.
I'll send you my guitar. You can send it over yonder. I give you an excuse to go talk to him.
Oh my God. Anyway.
That's what I do.
No.
I'll send Dave my guitar.
Guitar. That's our redneck word of the day.
No, it was that other word I made up. I never forgot it.
You've done forgot it.
Y'all see what I have to live with every day? 3 doctorates. Okay? What? You have nothing to say.
Honorary, not whatever.
I don't
Anyway,
care.
whatever. The point is, you and I have this connection, if you will. Like we've never had a knockdown, drag out fight ever.
We never will.
Because you're gonna admit I'm right.
Sure, you're right. So easy that is?
Yeah, right. But the point is that you people can have it.
You people.
You people can have it.
You people.
Don't talk to me because you refused to watch the debate with me. That was a necessary thing to do.
No,
and you
no, it's
can
not.
watch it. But why not? Then you asked me about it afterwards. You wanted to know all about it afterwards.
No, I didn't. I said, how was it?
No, because then you were like, did he really make a comment about this and that? This?
I heard it on TikTok while I was sitting on the toilet.
But why watch that? If you didn't care.
Every guy watched TikTok on the toilet.
But why watch what the overview of the debate was?
I didn't. I was scrolling through there.
I mean, there were times he couldn't finish a sentence. It didn't make any sense.
That's right. It's a huge insult to Trump to put him on stage with that fella. And I know he's our commander in chief right now, but
Commander Treef? What's a Treef?
I had to burp.
You see what I have to live with? What
I haven't even had a beer today.
Wonders never cease.
I know.
Did you eat your hamburger?
I did.
How was that?
Juicy and good. And
Disgusting.
that dead cow.
This is disgusting.
I offered it to your daughter, but
But now she's my daughter.
yep. When she don't want to eat hamburger,
Wow.
she's your daughter.
And the rest of the time?
Sometimes she's mine.
Sometimes.
And then there's times she's ours.
Wow. You wouldn't want her to hear that. Because she is,
You just got done with a book.
yes, and she came and talked about how great it was. But I'm not going to say the name of the book. But did she tell you what happened at the end?
She did not.
She was like, oh, that she used to read a book a day. I'm trying to get her back into that. But we gave her this book and told her she had to finish it. And we gave her a week to do it. And when she was in middle school, she was reading on a high school 12th grade level. I mean, she's spot on smart. And so she comes in, she's like, I finished it, but I have to tell you, oh my God. I was like, what? And she goes, the stepdad and daughter were doing it. And I was like, what? And she was like, oh my God.
Wow.
She goes, this book was fantastic, but it came out of nowhere, the stepdad and daughter. And I'm like, are you kidding? All I'm gonna say,
It runs on your side of the family.
are you kidding? You seriously want to talk about that?
Oh shit. Never mind.
What are you, oh shit?
I'll shut up.
No, what are you talking about there? Do it in the driveway with friends?
What exactly?
And that's your egg donor.
I gotta go cut my hair.
Wow. Way to like keep our listeners happy.
Well, they know how frugal we are. I go down in the garage
Garage.
and cut my hair and save $15.
Garage.
We're very frugal people.
Uh-huh.
We'll be that way if my wife hits the lottery one day.
If I hit the lottery, that means I gotta play it. But here's a question.
I'm listening.
Why is it when Faith has any kind of procedure,
Oh Lord.
you are wide ass, wait, you are pacing the floor, even if it's a crown, ladies and gentlemen. He walks up and down, pacing the floor, looking for doctors, wanting some answers, being quite a little pain in the rumpus. But when his wife, let's say, is getting her arm cut off or her face off or whatever the case may be, my husband can't stay awake until I'm taken back to the OR. We are in pre-op and he's standing up, falling asleep. And that's not okay. Before anybody writes and says, well, it was probably really early at 5 a.m., right? No, this was 1 p.m. 1 p.m. And my husband is standing up, sleepwalking and talking, saying, I can't make it, babe. And I said, they're taking me back in 5 minutes. I can't make it, babe. I'm just not gonna be able to do it. So I say, sit down in the chair. And no, I can't. The chair's uncomfortable. So he goes and leaves me to go into the waiting area and sleeps the entire time. And this isn't the only surgery. He's done this dozens of times. But when Faith has to have a crown put on her teeth, my husband paces the floor. Anytime Faith has anything done, holy shit, my husband has like super monkey glue glued into his eyelids to the top of his head. Why is that?
That's what dads are for.
I wouldn't know.
Protect their own.
I wouldn't know.
Well, I'm showing you, and I'm showing her.
Then why don't you do that for me?
Because you're competent, you're capable of handling yourself. You know what to do. There's doctors, you're in a hospital. Okay.
Okay, and let's talk about how I lost my arm to begin with.
Okay. How many doctors does it take to handle our Faith?
A lot.
Exactly.
How many do you think it takes to handle me?
One.
Wrong.
I saw the picture that she sent me.
Oh, that was kind of fun. That was a hot Asian guy.
Freaking buff, hot Asian doctor.
It wasn't Asian. It was just a woman.
Well,
and she
whatever.
was amazing. You're just mad because I've dated an Asian guy. And
You know why I'm upset? I'm upset because I gotta drink this gallon of shit over here so I can take a shit to clean the shit out of me and to have my shit pushed in.
It's only a 4 foot
About-
long.
Yeah, you know what? Last week it was 3 foot.
I showed you a picture. It's
Now
4
it's
feet long.
3
I've had a colonoscopy. You're just gonna get what's called twilighted, and you
I don't want to get nothing that's
you have to drink that whole thing. You'll have the squirts.
no, I want them to have
If
a
you don't
mess.
do it, then some people actually poop while they're on the OR table, not having colonoscopy, just surgery in the
Good.
mouth.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
You won't know what you're gonna do.
I'm
Because-
gonna purposely try.
You won't have anything left in your system.
I'm gonna take some Serpent Ipcat.
So why?
Serpent Ipcat. Why are you laughing?
Because
Serpent Ipecac. They make you throw up.
every
Oh,
time you
good.
say that, it's that you're saying it different.
Ipecac.
Do you? And everybody says, and I know this. You can go back to work the next day after the colonoscopy.
Oh no.
Oh yes,
No, I'm laid up in the recliner.
no.
Oh, yeah, I need service, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I need my feet rubbed with oil.
Not for me.
Yes.
I'll be recovering from massive surgery 2 weeks before that. So don't even start.
That little thing.
That little thing.
Women, you're yelling at our listeners.
I'm not yelling at them. I'm yelling in general because I'm definitely on my hearing aid. That is not a little thing. That is a massive undergoing. Massive. So don't even start. And we haven't even told anybody about that yet. So massive.
Your storytelling, babe.
Yes. So don't complain because would you rather trade places with me and get that done and I'll go have
Absolutely.
you would be the biggest pansy in there on that
Exactly.
table. They'd be like, no, get out. Oh my God. But you have to do this. You promised Faith you would do this for her. And so bottoms up, chug a look. Yeah.
Is that a pun?
Yeah, I think it's fun.
Bottoms up.
It's not unbearable. It's not.
Oh, is that another pun? Is that unfair? You're just full of it, aren't you?
You won't be. It's such a cleansing.
I bet it is.
It
I
is.
feel refreshed.
You will.
Just
And,
douche. What's that, Summer's Eve? Yeah,
That's-
bet.
but you do it in another bathroom. Not ours.
Oh, when I come home.
When you take that the day before.
Oh, it's gonna flow freely.
The day. If you have to do that the day before, you're gonna have to take off work the day before.
Is it at least skinny?
Uh-uh.
The probe, whatever they stick up.
Uh-uh.
No,
Uh-uh. It's thicker than this.
that's just wrong. That's wrong. babe.
I'm
Because-
to the device that holds up the microphone.
Now she's pointing to the microphone,
I'm not.
3 inches in diameter.
I'm not. No, but you're gonna have to take off the day before, or you're gonna be driving around with, sliding into first and you feel something burst, diarrhea. When your shorts are full of foam and you can't make it home.
I thought this was a serious podcast.
Oh, by the way, Faith has it set to play that song for you the entire day.
I hope you do more serious podcasts throughout the week when I'm not here. With-
Also wants
with
to
these
provide
guests.
you with a frosty. That actually sounds good. Frosty actually sounds good.
A little emoji.
No, like an actual frosty. It sounds good right now. It's nasty hot outside. It's disgusting.
It's pretty warm.
It's disgusting. We're gonna have a cold front. We're gonna be in the 89s and we'll be in the cold front. I'm actually craving a little frosty right now.
So.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you for those who came out to our location and purchased several items. If y'all are listening, thank you. We appreciate you. It helps. It really does. I told them to listen today, so they know who they are. Babe.
Do you want me to get you a little butt donut
No, I have a butt donut.
so you can sit on it? Do you want me to pad the toilet seat?
I've thought about that because as I'm TikToking on the toilet,
You fall asleep in there.
no, my legs fall asleep first. And that's annoying because then when you stand up your own pins and all that crap and you gotta, stomp it out, and it's annoying. So we guys have to come up with something. to where we can sit there and scroll.
They have toilet seats that are made with cushion like a pillow.
Really?
Yes,
Well, ain't that a bad idea?
it is.
Can I get one?
No, I've never told you no on anything you want. So
You want to go make out?
we're on air right now
You just said you wouldn't tell me no.
on things you wanted to purchase. You want to go get me a Frosty?
You got $50.
Make you holla? Hey. You hate rap.
I do. It promotes too much violence and
Everything promotes violence. Everything.
Right. Oh shit.
Why do you say oh shit for?
Because I'm in trouble every time you call her. She come here. What'd you do now, Michael?
She probably can't hear.
She's got her headphones on.
Does she?
She does. She's been. That's her relaxation time. I have to go feed her dinner.
She's not a dog. Hey, take her to Wendy's and get her some nuggets. She worked really hard today. And you can get your wife a Frosty, which would be super sweet because you didn't want to take me to dinner for an moment. I said no because it was too hot.
Thank y'all for listening to another episode here on A Contagious Smile. We appreciate y'all for sharing.
Karen.
Yeah. We really, I imagine she talks about some serious issues when I'm not here.
We do, but everybody loves our chemistry. They
Right
do.
now it's kind of jovial.
We need it to be jovial. There's too much negativity going on in this world. We need to have a
Yes.
little laughter.
But on a serious note, y'all get certified, carry your weapon, train with it.
That was one of the sexiest dates we had when we went shooting back in the day.
Oh. Yeah, I'm trying to set up next weekend to go shoot.
Yeah.
My wife needs practice now that she's got one arm.
I was a good shot back in the day.
Yes, we know, dear.
I hate when you do that. Dear.
You were a good shot.
Oh, are you really going to do this now? Go
You
ahead.
brought it up.
You want to do that too?
You brought it up.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I just have a sexy husband. That's all that matters.
Whatever. Bye, y'all.